If you're an INFJ and you feel drained, you feel unmotivated, you might feel like whatever you do, it's like pushing something really important, something really big up a hill, and it never seems to stop. It's a never ending cycle. If you're an INFJ and you feel this way, then you're at the right spot. Because I'm here to tell you, you're not lazy. There's nothing wrong with you. It's not that you inherently will have a harder time. It's just that the way society has been working is not in alignment with what is best for us. And if we play by the rules that are set by society, that everybody else seems to play by, then we're going to be burnt out. We need to understand that we as INFJs need to follow very specific rules that work for us, have specific mindsets that not only motivate us, but that continuously give us more energy. So we not only feel motivated, but excited and full of energy to take on the next step in our INFJ Epic Life journey. So today we're talking about the 10 signs of burnout as an INFJ and what to do about it. Before we get started, I want to remind you, if you haven't done this so far, to download the free poster on the INFJ Epic Life formula. And if you want to take it to the next level, then get the INFJ Epic Life audio guide today. Everything you need to know you can find in the links in the description. Sign number 1, you feel emotionally numb. I've experienced this many times, and I've talked to so many INFJs who go through this till this day. You go out with friends, and whatever you do, you're not excited about it. You don't get excited about a new holiday. You don't get excited about a new adventure. You're not even getting excited about simple things like a great meal or meeting friends or just a new music track that you can't wait to listen to. If this is the case for you, I promise you this is not how it's supposed to be. Feeling emotionally numb is a clear sign that you're burning out as an INFJ and it's time to do something about it. Sign number 2, you're overwhelmed by simple tasks. Sometimes even something as simple as bringing out the trash or taking a shower seems like a big ask. I know how that feels like. I remember particularly when I started doing this channel, how much of a battle it was just to get ready. Specifically, if we take on something new and it feels super draining to us, trust me, we're in burnout mode. This is not how it has to stay, and there's definitely something we can do about it. Sign number 3, you avoid social interactions. We as INFJs, we don't need to be around a lot of people all the time. I know that. I'm an introvert, I'm an INFJ myself, so I know that there isn't this intrinsic need to connect with people all the time. But if you even feel that your closest family seems like too much for you, your best friend, whoever is coming into any contact with you, you always feel like you want to take a step back, then that's a clear sign you're at the verge of a burnout. We don't need to let this go any further. Now is time to act. Sign number 4, your creativity feels blocked. As INFJs, we so often get inspired by others' creativity. We dive into their world, how they see certain things, particularly with people who have like this artistic side to them. But it seems like our own creativity sometimes is just blocked. There's nothing that is coming out. We're not coming up with ideas. And the reason for this is that we've been in doing mode. We haven't really created a space for ourselves to allow creativity to come up. And you might say, well, but I'm not doing anything. Why isn't this creativity coming? Why am I not feeling anything? Well, it's actually because we have filled up our entire emotional space with worries, with anxiety, with things we have to do, with guilt, and whatever comes with it. Sign number 5, you're overanalyzing everything. So this is something I know too well. If you have gotten a set of information about another person, about a new situation, about a path you want to take on, and you don't get a clear answer, then it's not going to help to keep thinking about it. You have to think of it like this. Your intuition and your thought process will come up with an answer quite quickly. Yes, sometimes you need to let it sink in for a couple of days, but I've been in situations like this myself, and I've talked to thousands of INFJs who've had similar experiences. You're not going to get a solution. You already have all the information there is, and by overthinking it, you're not going to get to a new answer. And this is actually something that is causing us to be even more burned out because we feel like I have to find an answer. When the truth is that we're not going to get an answer here, that we have to look at a different question, that we have to let it go and understand that this is all the information interpretation we can have of this thing right now. This is something that is quite easy to us if we understand what's going on, but it's quite hard if we're already burned out because it feels like this is the only thing I can hold on to that's going to give me an answer. But we're not going to find an answer where we lost our path. We need to find it somewhere new, somewhere where we start fresh, and in a way that makes us feel like I can't wait for the next thing to put into my system and come up with the next step, instead of like overthinking something that is just not going to give us any clear answer whatsoever. Sign number 6, you're experiencing physical symptoms. We as INFJs, we're cerebral beings. There's so much going on within our mind that has nothing to do with how our body is functioning. But if it even comes to a place where you feel like you're physically exhausted, you can't sleep right, you're waking up in the middle of the night, you feel like fatigue all day long, no matter what you do, then yeah, you're burning out. And our typical burnout isn't coming from, oh, I overworked myself, at my job, or I took on way too much responsibility, as in like I have those 15 tasks that I need to finish and somebody's waiting on them. Our burnout and our overwhelm is coming from taking on responsibilities for how other people are feeling. We're taking on responsibility of how things should turn out that aren't in our locus of control. And very often it is keeping us in this stuck place that doesn't allow us to flourish. If you stay stuck, if you don't give yourself the opportunity to expand and to increase your energy, we're always going to get into burnout mode. And then there's no wonder that you feel like you have no energy to take on the next step. It's a vicious circle and it's time to break out of it. Sign number 7, you struggle finding meaning in your work and in your goals. So often hear people say, get a better job, find a maid, start working out, it's good for your health. But whatever people are telling us or what society is telling us we should do very often doesn't motivate us. It doesn't motivate us because there's no purpose in it. We don't see the bigger picture. We understand that, yes, I could do those certain things, but I would still feel lost. I would still feel like I'm playing a game in a system that doesn't matter to me. And of course, if you lose that kind of motivation for life, you're going to be burned out. We need to feel excited about life. We need to feel like we're creating the life we always wanted and that life is happening through us. And those are all things that we can change. It's just a matter of what works for us INFJs and what doesn't. Sign number 8, you're hypercritical of yourself. As INFJs, we are perfectionists, and we're not perfectionists in a way of, oh, this text needs to be perfect, there can't be one spelling error or anything like this. Our sense of perfection comes from our vision. I have a vision of how things should turn out, how nice I should be, how kind I should be, how, giving I should be, how well I present myself, what kind of experience I give to other people. And everything that falls short to that vision is considered a failure. And if we go through life with that attitude, we're never going to take any steps. And if we don't take any steps, we're always going to get into a depressed state. And once we get in this depressed state, we're not going to have any energy left. Of course, we're going to feel burned out. It's a matter of understanding that every step we take is going to fall short to that vision. And we're not going to deny it. We're not going to try to avoid it. We're going to go straight through it, because through that process, we're going to get closer and closer to the vision we had in our mind all along. Sign number 9, you're easily irritated. As INFJs, we're very often easygoing people, meaning live and let live. You see it from that perspective. I respect that. You do your thing as long as you're not hurting anybody. All is well. And very often we do have understanding for other people and empathy, even if it's something that might get another person upset. But if you get to a place where even simple interactions with your close ones are getting you irritated, know this is a sure sign that you're burned out. This is not how it's supposed to be, and it's a great indicator. It's not about avoiding those signs or pretending that they don't exist. They are road signs that tell us it's time to change something. Now is the time to really take action and step into the life we always wanted, and you'll see how all of those things will disappear one by one. Sign number 10. You feel a disconnect from your vision. As INFJs, our vision is incredibly important to us. We need to have a North Star. We need to have something that we, live towards, something that we create. Our environment has to be a reflection of that. But when we feel like this is so far away, I'm never going to reach this, this is only going to stay in my mind, we get incredibly depressed, we retreat, we give up in so many ways. But the point is to understand that it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. The more we lean into this thinking, the more it's going to feel like we're never going to reach it. On the other hand, if you really go from a place of, am I getting closer to my vision than I was yesterday? Am I getting closer to my vision than I was last year? Then you know that you're making progress. You're focusing on that progress, and therefore you start getting excited. And before you know it, your vision actually becomes reality. Now that we've talked about the signs, let's talk about a couple of things that will help you to recover. The first thing is to set boundaries. I don't care how much you like the people in your life, how much you feel responsible for their well-being. If you're in a burnt out state, it's not on you to focus on other people. Your energy has to be on you as much as possible. So I really recommend going into what we call hermit mode. You need those boundaries. You need to first replenish your energy. Go for the boring day-to-day. Do the things that are necessary and avoid everything else. We first have to make sure that we have enough energy. Focus on your sleep. Focus on you being in a state of peace and relaxation. Remove all the things that might seem exciting, but that are definitely not giving you the energy that you need. The second thing is to go for small wins. In the audio guide, this is a big part, because as INFJs, we have those grand visions and we forget the simple steps that are going to get us there. I was my biggest cheerleader when I started this channel, because every single time I had to get ready to create one of those videos, it was like the biggest battle ever. It was so much harder than any day that I would get ready for work. So it is a psychological thing. It's not that getting ready on a Sunday, I used to always record my videos on a Sunday while I was still working in the beginning. It's not like getting ready on a Sunday was more work, but it was getting ready for something that was for me. Nobody was waiting for me. Nobody cared if I did it. On Monday, people are expecting you to go. So you have this external pull. And the point is to say, it does not matter that I'm taking a small step. I have to celebrate myself that I'm ready and willing to take that step. Because only through understanding where you're at and how much effort it actually takes to get out of this, stagnant state, only when we recognize it, we can actually appreciate how much it is taking us to get us out of that state. So never ever downplay any small step forward. Every single one is supposed to be a win. I always say we want wins every single day. And if you feel like you're not having a win, then make it smaller. Every single time you can celebrate that you are able to actually push through, and to push through because you decided what you're going to do and not because somebody else expected you to do this, you're going to see immense change in your entire psychological makeup. The next step is to recharge your energy. So as INFJs, we have to understand that we are first and foremost people who will come up with ideas, who will come up with vision. I always like to say we're INFJs. We don't have to do all the things. We just have to do the right things. And so we have to understand that stepping out of our comfort zone, taking action in making our dreams come true, comes harder to us than maybe it does for other people. But what comes easier for us is to come up with the next plan, to have the vision of what is the next step to take. And in order to be able to do this, we have to be in energy. We have to have an energetic surplus. So recognize that it's not your task to overwork yourself. It's not your task to give and hustle and do all of that. If it's fun for you and if you have enough energy left, great. But don't ever feel guilty for being somebody who's, laid back, who comes up with the ideas and then mobilizes themselves for small tasks that will move you forward. And afterwards, you give yourself the time and the space to recharge your energy. You don't have to do things how everybody else does it. Just do it in a way that works for you. The next one is simplify your goals. As INFJs, yes, our vision is huge. We have these great ideas, but now it's time to make them actionable. Meaning, what is my goal for this year? What is my goal for this month? And what is my goal for this week? And the best way to do that is to actually look into the 5 pillars. What are the 5 pillars that are going to make the biggest difference for you? You know, I've really worked on these pillars as the areas that make the biggest differences for INFJs, because it's not about doing millions of things. Focus on those areas. Focus on your relationship. Focus on your energy. Focus on your prosperity, on your purpose, and your priority. I also have a free poster on that topic, so if you want to look more into it, check it out in the description. And last but not least, seek support. If you have people around you who support you on your journey, you're going to be that much more successful, because you're going to be around an energy that encourages you to recharge yourself, to focus on the things that matter to you as an INFJ, and they will help you to understand that you are valuable the way you are, and all your ideas and all the ways you see the world, your perspective, your convictions are things that are meant to be celebrated and not accepted or tolerated, how some people might. If you see this regularly, it will be that much easier to distinguish between people who are there to support us and people who don't even want to listen to us. Those kind of people should not be in our close psychological space, because believe it or not, it does have a huge effect on us. One of the ways you can get support is, of course, to join us in bootcamp. You can work with me one-on-one. And of course, this YouTube channel is a great space to feel at home. So if you're ready to get out of burnout mode, I really recommend getting the INFJ Epic Life audio guide. It will explain how to start taking small steps and seeing results within your own life. Everything you need to know you can find through the link in the description. And if you want to watch another video now that's in alignment with today's topic, then check out the video you see on the screen right now. I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys.